So to be respectful of everybody's time, I will start right on time. And as you know, in the first 15 minutes, I will do a kind of, presentation with my slides. And then I will do some live practice with you guys. And I will show real time some of the most important features that I would like to point out in this presentation. And then in the last 15 minutes, I will take your questions, comments, contributions, your own experiences as well. So yeah, it will be a kind of Q&A session at the end. So let's start. It's right 7 p.m. in my time here in Turkey. So my name is Murat Turk. I have my PhD degree in educational psychology, instructional psychology, and technology from the University of Oklahoma, and I work as a corporate training specialist right now, and also as a UX researcher. And today I will talk about how to use MAXQDA to analyze UX user experience research data with this software, and I will give you a remote moderated usability test example in this presentation. So we will quickly have a look at some of the main features of MAXQDA for those of you who are not familiar with MAXQDA at all. And then I will show you how to analyze remote moderated usability test videos with the code system of certain user experience issues as examples. And then I will use creative coding feature of MAXQDA, which is super cool, to organize some UX issues in the form of codes, subcodes, and themes. And then I will show you another cool feature of MAXQDA, which is called QTT. This feature is used to generate some UXR, UX research deliverables, like a simple report or a worksheet or a similar product. And then I will do a kind of short live demonstration for practice in our 15-minute time period. So UX research without MAXQDA is definitely something like this, okay? But with MAXQDA, UX research looks like this, which is awesome because it gives you organization and it kind of gives you systematicity. Okay, you can organize and systematize everything in MAXQDA. When we have a quick and dirty overview of MAXQDA for UX researchers, here these are the affordances that enable you to organize your data. Okay, because it gives you data flexibility and variety. Like you can have your you can analyze your transcripts of user and stakeholder interviews, focus groups. You can analyze and code images of field visits or contextual inquiries as popular UX research methodologies, audios, videos of usability tests as well. You can analyze, so you can organize them. You can categorize, your data. You can create themes. You can visualize, your data, and also to share your data with your stakeholders, which is super important in the UX world. You can create certain data visualizations such as creative coding. You can create UX deliverables like QTT worksheets, which I'm going to talk about and show you. And with all of these, actually, it provides you with transparency of your findings and your user insights. Then I will also talk about that as well. So this is a general overview of MAXQDA workspace for those of you who are not so familiar with the software actually. So we have this we have this workspace. This is how it looks like when you open up your software. So I'm not going to go into details of these fundamentals because I'm going to more focus on UX work with MAXQDA. So we have four main windows here. Here you see, right, we have the document system window, we have document browser window, we have code system window, and we have retrieve segments window as four main windows in MAXQDA. And you can easily notice here, we have transcript, we have audio, video for this usability test project. So let's talk about how to analyze remote moderated usability test videos with MAXQDA. So I'm going to give you an overview of Multimedia Browser, how to code a test video with clip selection feature, how to add memos to usability test video segments, and also how to export these video clips to share with your stakeholders to show that, look, the user is experiencing these. So you can show that video clip to your stakeholders. So usability test video analysis is quite simple. First, you can import your video into MAXQDA, and then you can do lots of things like playing the video, transcribing, paraphrasing. And we basically have this multimedia browser where we generally use it for playing and coding videos, just like coding a text document. And then we can also create still images for maybe publications that you will be interested in. And we can also save those still images as image documents for further analysis. And we can also export these videos. And the supported video formats, just for kind of additional information for you guys. Supported video formats are these, but MAXQDA recommends the MP4 format, which is the most popular video format. So to import a video file, we have this import menu function, and then we have this videos tab here. When you click on it, you can easily import your video, and then you can just see your important video, okay, in your document system here, which I'm going to, as I told you, which I'm going to show in our live practice session. But basically, let me show it to you real quick here. So I already created my actually imported my materials here as documents. Everything is a document in MAXQDA, by the way. Your transcript Word document is a document, video is another document, audio is another document, okay? So when you click on import here, you have these different options, right? Text, transcripts, focus group transcripts, images, audio, videos. So as I'm talking about usability videos here, I will click on videos here, and then I have these options, right? These are my files, which I have recorded from my usability test, sessions. So if I click on this, and if I do it like open here, then it will automatically, import, which I have already done here. So I'm not going to repeat it once again. So let's move on. So in order to play this video, you have different options. You can just, go to the document in the document system. You can right click the document, and then you can select open video file here, or you can simply click on the play symbol like this. So you can come over here, okay, and then you can right click, and then you can go to open video file, and it just starts playing. Okay, once again, there you go. Or you can simply click on the play icon here, which I always use. You see? Okay. So there are like two options. And in MAXQDA, just keep in mind, there is always another way in MAXQDA. Okay, there is not one single way. There is always some other ways to do exactly the same thing here. So this is, how the multimedia browser looks like. So as you just seen previously when I played the video, we have this video window, okay, and then we have this control panel. We have memo buttons here, which is basically used to add some notes, okay, about your video sections here. And then we have clip section buttons here, and then we have video image and export buttons here, which I will show in detail here. So what are these? These are waveforms, which shows actually, the waves in the sounds and the video section of your document, basically. And then you have your timeline here, where you can follow the timeline of your video. And then you also have this code here. I'm going to show you how to add the code and everything, but this is basically what it looks like when you do coding. So these three buttons are three cool functions for UX researchers. Why? Because you can copy video image to clipboard and then you can use it like an image. And then you can also insert this video image as a document in the document system, and then you can analyze that document system as an additional data, or you can also export coded video clips here. Again, I will show you how to do that. So basically, when we code, in the multimedia browser, we basically start by marking the segment, okay, in the waveform. We just click and drag the adjusted time limits, okay, and then we just set the beginning and end of a segment file precisely, and then we can also, to roughly mark a segment, we can keep the left mouse button pressed and then select the segment by dragging the cursor over the waveform. So if you want to play a media file and then pause exactly at the position where you want to set a new coding, you can also do this. You can press the button play and then start clip of selection and then end of selection like this. Okay, so you just first of all need to select this area, and then you click off on start of clip selection, play the video, and then stop the video, and then click on end of clip selection, and then now your segment is selected, okay, and ready to code. So let's see. So let's play this, okay. Once again, welcome to my study. So let's start. This is my beginning, okay? So I will start, I will start selecting the segment from exactly this position, and then I continue playing. Like I indicated when I emailed you, my name is Murat Turk. So let's say this is the exact point that I want to finish the selection. So I click on end of clip selection button here. There we go. Now this place, this area, okay, is this shaded area is now ready to code, okay? So let's move on. Now, you can just right click on the selected area to open a context menu that has different options for coding, or we can simply drag and drop the coding. If you have an existing code in your code system, you can simply, drag and drop the selected area to the existing code, or just the opposite. You can drag the code onto the selected clip area. So let me show it to you real quick here. So let's make it small a little bit. Okay. There we go. So now let me show you the first option first. So right click on the shaded area, and then you have different options here. Code with a new code, or you can, in the second one, you can see the most recently used code, which I used previously. So let's go with code with a new code. When I click on it, I have this window here, or dialog box here, and then I can create a code. For example, let's say welcome. Okay, let's create something different from my previous codes. Welcome to study intro, let's say. Okay, so you can also choose the color of the code here. Let's make it yellow here. Okay, and then when if you want, you can also add a memo about the code, just to give you a kind of reminder. You can also make comment on the code segment, like you can say, in this segment, the user is talking about this, something like that. Okay, there are millions of ways to do it. So when I click on OK, there we go. You see, my code, welcome to study intro, is ready here. So you can see it here in the video of window, and also in the code system here, you can see the code here as well. Welcome to study intro, because now I have added a new code into my code system, which is this window here. All right. So now let's move on. So basically, this is what I have just explained to you. When you create the code, you can see the code name here, and then this horizontal coding stripe. Okay, it is called coding stripe here, and this is the waveform colored with the color of the code red, because in this example I have used, in this slide I have used red as the color, but in our example we have just used yellow, right? And so we talked about this. We double click and then we just yeah, this feature is also nice. Okay, so let me show it to you once again. Here you can, after selecting and coding the segment, if let's say you want to play it, okay, and you want to only play that coded clip segment to understand something. Maybe you want to listen to it again, okay? So what you got to do, you click on the coding stripe and then you double click on the coding stripe to play only the coded clip segment, for example. So I'm gonna show you my previously coded one just to make things faster here. So let me go, I stop the video here, and then let me go to a specific code here. For example, this one, previous user experience of websites, okay? When I click on this, okay, one click, I selected this part here, okay? I selected this segment here, okay? When I double click, okay? When I double click on the stripe, I will play this coded segment only. Here we go. Experience. Yeah. Okay. It's so important. So thank you for this research. That's it, right? It just stops automatically at the end of the coded segment only, okay? So this is also a cool feature because sometimes we want to dive deep, right? We want to dive deep into certain segments depending on what kind of data we are talking about. So you can also add a memo. Memos are generally used for, generally for taking notes, basically. Okay, so let me show it to you. So just to save time, yeah, that's a better way of doing it. So I will show you, how to do it as well as a kind of combination of both presentation and practice, which is working more efficiently as far as I can see here, because time is so limited here. So let me show it to you as well here. Now let's say I have played the video segment again here. Okay. Once again, welcome to my study, the user experience research. Like I indicated when I emailed you, my name is. Okay, so here, for example, okay, I select a specific coding area here, and then here you see that icon here or button here, new memo. Okay, when I click on it, this window appears, and this is basically a space for you to take some notes. For example, the user is talking about blah blah blah, okay, something like that. When I close the window, my memo is here. Okay, when I click on it, I just see my memo here. Okay, this is also a cool feature just to take some notes as you go along. Okay, so exporting usability test video clips is also super cool because you can create short video clips, okay, just to share with your stakeholders, just to use them in your presentations. And again, there are a couple of different ways of doing it. You can select the section in your test in the Multimedia Browser. You can just right click on the selected section and then choose export video clip in the context menu. And then in the next dialog window, you can specify the quality and resolution of the clip. Okay, this is so after you do this, your video clip is exported to your, for example, to your target location, whatever that is. Okay, and this is quite a nice feature. Okay, and these are the basic steps here, which I'm going to show you in a while. This is commonly used by UX researchers just to create those, short video clips to prove some evidence of certain user experiences, like frustrations or difficulties, challenges, whatever. Okay, and to basically to convince the stakeholders. So how you do it? So let's say we have selected this section, and then if I click, I have this button here. Okay, export coded video clips. I can click on here, or I can just right click, and then I can go like this. As I told you, there are always different ways. So let's use this export video clip, and then you choose the resolution and quality. So just to make things easier and faster, I'm going to use 480 pixels, and then I will say okay, and then I choose the target location. here, and I will just save it to my desktop here. Okay, and then when I click on save, exporting the video clip here, and then boom, there we go. Let's go to, okay, so here we go. Okay, now here I have this video clip as it is, only this section, or this one. Yeah, this is the one. Welcome to my study. The next couple of things from my script. That's it, right? Only that coded segment has been exported to my desktop here. So this is really cool. So I'm gonna just skip over the code system quickly, because this is again something basics about MAXQDA, but I just wanted to put this slide just to show you how we use code system in the MAXQDA to create that hierarchy of codes, subcodes, and then creating certain major themes, minor themes, because we use all of these as each code or subcode can be a user experience theme or user experience category even. So for example, in this code system you see elements of positive UX, elements of negative UX, and then there are different codes as well, and each code may have different subcodes as well. Here is the full version. You see we have elements of negative UX, and then we have subcodes, miscellaneous, and then miscellaneous also has some subcodes, or task 4 as the major code, and then subcodes. So this is the hierarchy of code system. So creative coding, this is another cool feature of MAXQDA, which I use a lot in my UX research projects. This is basically to create, this is basically used to create some visuals where you can visualize how the codes are connected to each other. So I will show you how to do that, okay? But basically it's under codes menu, and then we have the creative coding, and then you can just create visuals, and you can use them from Max Maps feature, which is another cool feature of MAXQDA. So basically the basic idea is you just take the codes from the code system, drag them into the creative coding window, and then you start working with the codes creatively. That's why it's called creative coding, basically. Okay, and this is how it looks like. Okay, and you can just do these. You can show the relationships between different UX issues. You can create new codes. You can merge the codes. You can change code colors. You can show frequencies, code the segments, and you can also get a copy of the creative coding map. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use all these links and everything real time right now. So let's go to codes. Okay, and then we have the creative coding over here. Click on it, and then we have this screen, creative coding. Please drag all the codes you want to organize into this area, and then click button start organizing codes, top left, when you are ready to start organizing. Now, one thing is important here. Once you take the codes from your code system here and take it over here, okay, you can create new codes. You can delete the codes, okay, remove some codes. But once you start organizing, you cannot delete any codes after you start organizing the codes. So I just figured this out through my frustration as a user, but now I know how it works. So let me take elements of negative UX here, okay. So here you see lots of different relationships, right? Okay, here I can just organize them however I want. You see, there we go. Okay, I can just right click on one of the codes, and then I can remove the code from the code system. I can add a memo, or I can do different things. So let me start organizing the codes just to show you how it works. So after you start organizing, okay, let me take them here. Okay, let's take it here. Okay, so after you start creative coding, you have many different options to play with this. Okay, once you take the codes here and start creative coding, if you choose, okay, a particular code like this, or more than one code with a control, and then you just, you press control and then you start selecting more codes, okay, and then the format option appears here. This format option basically enables you to do some border, do some background colors, add some shadowing or whatever. So let's try, for example, if you want to add a border, for example, to your codes, you see, you can create borders. If you want to change the color, like I want to make it red, okay, you see, and then again, I will choose these codes, okay, once again, and then I will go to format, and then I will continue. Let's say, okay, I want to increase size. You see, I want to highlight some UX issues, more than others, or you want to change the object. You want to change the. Let me show it again. So I have to activate again, once again here, and then go to format, and then you can just, you can change the symbol. For example, you can use this square symbol, you see, as the code symbol, or you can use this. You see, you can use this. So you can also change symbol. You can also create a background color for your code symbol, okay, or you can also change. Oops. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I can also change the background color of my codes. You see. So you can change the background color of your code, or also of your symbol, and you can do many other things here. Okay. This is basically the creative coding thing. So let's move on. Okay, let me show you how to create a code, how to create a new code. So if you want, let's say you want to add a new code, okay, you just click on new code here, and then you say, okay, let's say frustration is another code, let's say, okay, and I want to make it orange, okay. So your new code pops up on the left, at the top left. So I take it here, okay. Let's say I want to create another connection between this code and this new code, okay. I use the link function here, you see the arrow, and then I create an arrow between this frustration over search bar results and frustration, okay. So I can take it, I can just create many other relationships like this, okay. It's up to you, okay. So now let's move on with the slides and see what else do we have about creative coding. Yeah, you can also merge two codes together. You can just drag the code with the left mouse, and then you just leave the code as it is, for example. So let's say I'm going to merge this code with this, and then it is asking me merge codes. Are you sure? If I say yes, it will be merged. Okay, I don't want to merge it right now. So let's go back. All right. So yeah, these are the basic features that I have just showing you about creative coding. So I have just a couple of minutes for my presentation plus practice period. So let me go to, yeah, I have already, okay, code frequencies, and let me show you that as well, because this is also nice for UX researchers. Let's say you want to emphasize, you want to show how often certain codes have appeared in your data, or in other words, how often certain UX issues have appeared in your data. So if you want to show those things, you can also look at the code frequencies from here. If I click on code frequencies here, now it's not clicked right now. If I click on it, you see 1, 1, okay, 2, 7, here 2, 2, 0. Okay, because I haven't used that code to code anything yet, because I have just created this code out of blue just for demonstration. Here you can see, 4. It means that this code has appeared 4 times in my data. So if you want to demonstrate that, you can also use that from code frequencies tab over here, which is quite cool. So yeah, if you click on overview of coded segments thing by right click, you can just also see, for example, let's say I want to see this. Okay, I want to see a kind of overview of the coded segments from my data, which has been coded with this code particularly. Okay, so I click on overview of coded segments, and I see here, okay, which areas in my data, okay, this code has been used. So here I can just I can just see all these areas, at least the where the code is, where is the beginning and where is the end, and some other information about that area. And you can also see the coverage percentages here in terms of how often that code has been used. This is also quite cool to provide a further demonstration. Okay, yeah, this is overview of coding. So, and then to get a copy of your creative coding map, you can just save it as a map on your Max Maps. Okay, so for example, you can just here we have this option here, save as a map in Max Maps, or you can copy this display. Okay, and then you can just copy it on a Word document, for example, or you can just export the map. Okay, as an PNG image or some other JPEG image or some other in some other format files, okay, or file formats. So I say save as a map in Max Maps. A copy of current creative code map has been saved as a standard Max Map here. Okay, and then if I continue, okay, I will go to QTT feature in a while, but I want to show you where we can see that map right here. Now, when you want to exit here, it will ask you apply code structure to your code system, because we have made some changes, and it's MAXQDA is asking you, do you wanna apply this structure to your code system? This process is non-reversible. So once you say yes, your code system has been changed, okay, and you cannot reverse it. So I'm going to say no, because I don't want my code system to be affected by this. Okay, so if you continue, the current creative coding map will be saved as a standard Max Map. No changes will be applied to the code system. It will not be possible to resume work on this creative coding map. Yes, I agree. Continue. Okay, now when I go to Visual Tools, and when I click on Max Maps here, okay, list of maps, here you can see my maps here. Okay, for example, one of these is this. If you just click on it, okay, you can see different maps that I have created before. Okay, so this is the area where you need to find your map. So once again, Visual Tools, Max Maps, because it has been saved to Max Maps, and then you have this list here, list of maps. Okay, list of maps, and then you have your list here. Okay, there we go. So one last feature which I love as a UX researcher from MAXQDA is QTT feature. Okay, this feature is super cool because it helps you to create some deliverables. Okay, it's basically a QTT, questions, themes, theories. Okay, and it's a kind of bridge between your project and your report as a UX deliverable. So we go to analysis menu tab, and then we go to QTT. So analysis, and then QTT. Let's click on it. Now here in this window, okay, you have this window which I have already created for you just to save time. But if you want to create a new worksheet, you can create this new worksheet tab, and then you can create a totally new worksheet from scratch. But basically, let me show you the components. You can add your title here. This is like your report. Okay, this is like your final deliverable in which you are going to put your data, your analysis, your themes, your insights, and maybe some actionable recommendations that you wanna make, right? Your subject is here, and then you can put your research questions in this box, which are my research questions, okay, for this project. And then we have different areas like related codes, important segments, summary tables, related memos, visual statistics, concept maps, integration of insights. Okay, so if you want to add under related codes and themes, I'm not going to go back to the slides just to save time. So related codes and themes, if you want to add elements, you can add another code into your worksheet. For example, let's take this, okay? And then I say, okay. And then this is, this is just added to my, so if I click on this, okay, wanting to leave site, I check the box and then I say, okay, wanting to leave site is here. I want to add another one, let's say, click on check the box, and then you see technical issue is added as another element. So if I want to add some important segments, okay, I can do it in different ways. So let me go back to that slide to show you how to do that. Yeah, I have explained these parts really quick for you. Okay, this part is super cool because this insights part where you can enter your insights, okay, about your UX data in terms of your UX issue code. So for example, I added something like this. 4 of the 5 participants indicated that not being able to see the fee information confused them as website users. This tells us that the users have a tendency to wish to see the fee information as soon as possible, which needs to be considered in the design of the announcement visuals placed on the relevant page of the website. So this is my insight that I have derived from my data. Okay, you can add that in your worksheet. So important segments. If you wanna send a particular segment to your worksheet, you can do it like from the document browser. You can right click and then you can send it to QTT worksheet. But this feature is only possible to use with the text document. Okay, so here, for example, let me activate my transcript here. Okay, oops, yeah. So let's say, okay, let me just code this section here. Okay, let's say, and then I will code this with let's say welcome to study intro. Okay, now let's say I want to add this section as a kind of evidence from my data into my worksheet. Okay, I just come over into the Stripe, and then I right click, and then you see send to QTT worksheet. Once again, I click on the Stripe, right click, and then send to QTT worksheet, and then I choose the worksheet name. I have already created a usability test, so I will click on it, and then it just goes to my worksheet here. So let me go to my worksheet once again. So you see, there we go. You see here, okay, that segment has been added to my worksheet. It's super cool. So let's move on. I think I have a couple of slides only. So I can also, I can also add a certain, part of the, let's say, the coded segment into my worksheet, and then I use again retrieve segments window, which is another window. I just right click on the associated coding stripe, which I just told you, and then I just select the option to my QTT worksheet. So if I, let's say, okay, if you go to, okay, let's go to my video. Okay, and let me go to, let's say, let's use this blue or orange anyway. Okay. So as I told you, okay, here, when you click on, the coded segment over here, it's not possible to send that, into your QTT. Okay. So here, for example, you can only insert as new document, or you can just export it as a video clip here. So, oops. Okay. All right. So if you want to edit from the video section, first you need to go to retrieved segments here. Oops. Okay. In the let's say I will play on it, and then I will just okay. So I will just take one code into the retrieve segments. I will just enter this, and then I will click on retrieve segments, and I will just activate the codes from here, from the document system. First, you need to activate the document from the video, okay? And then you will just activate the code as it says to you. You need to activate the code, and then you need to activate the document as well. Now I have this segment here, which has been coded with this code, okay? And then when you click on it, okay, here you see send to QTT worksheet. Now I can send it to QTT worksheet. Okay, that's the trick here. Normally there is no way to send a coded segment directly from the multimedia browser. There is no way. But first you need to retrieve it through your document, video, and the code activation, and then put it into retrieve segments window, and then you can just like this, you can just right click and then send to QTT worksheet. Again, you choose which worksheet, and then you choose usability test, and then it just goes to the QTT. And then I will show you the QTT once again because I don't have much time. So QTT, there we go. Okay, I had just added that segment as well. All right. Okay. So let me. Okay. So let me show you. What else can I show you here? So again, you can just if you have questions, because there are lots of other features which I will not be able to dive deep into due to time limitation. But basically, QTT is your area. Okay, QTT is the area where you can just add your insights, add your related codes, themes. If you want, you can just add some important segments, or you can also create many other things. So if you want to export the worksheet, let me show you as the final thing. Okay, so QTT here. Okay, let's say you wanna use this as a kind of let's say document or worksheet. You just click on export worksheet. Okay, and then you choose the final destination like desktop. Okay, and then usability test. Let's say QTT worksheet, and then you just click on save, and then when I check my desktop, there we go. You see, I have a Word document here. Yes, there we go. There we go. I have this full report, okay, with my title, subject, research questions, table of contents, and then related codes, insights, and many other, let's say, you see some important segments. You see here, you can just provide some real data from your project with and share it with your stakeholders, or some texts, okay? This is the cool feature that you can use, okay? If you add memos, of course, you can see the memos here, or so many other. Here we go. We have this creative coding as well. Everything is in one deliverable as your UX report or deliverable. Okay. So so I didn't have much time, so I would like to stop here and get your questions. And thank you for listening. So basically, the basic idea, actually, of course, there are millions of features, guys. Okay, just keep this in mind. And it's impossible to show everything in detail. And most of the time, as a professional trainer, I discovered most of these features as a UX researcher as well by myself, just to trial error and using the MAXQDA user manual, which is awesome, by the way. You can definitely download it from the MAXQDA website, and you can just use it however you want. Okay, and MAXQDA is definitely giving you this chance to organize everything and put everything in one place, and then you can just play around. Okay, that's more about discovery and innovation. Okay, just be curious. Just try to learn more about how to use this awesome software tool to make your UX research much more successful, and to give a kind of professional voice and tone to your project, basically. So that's the end of the story. If you want to reach out, just feel free to reach out to me from the MAXQDA website as a professional trainer, and also as a presenter from the MAXDAYS 23 website. So I don't see any questions, or in the QA section or chat. Okay, so that's the end of the story. If you don't have any questions, I'm just wishing you a great rest of the day. Thanks a lot. Thank you for being here and watching this presentation. And just there is one question in the QA about resources. Do you have a resource to reference? Yeah, there are again tons of resources that we can reference. But basically, if you want to dive deep into UX research, you can definitely visit to Nielsen Norman Group website, userinterviews.com website, userzoom.com website. These are different areas where you can just dive deep into UX. But if you want to, in order to be able to use MAXQDA for your UX research projects, you should definitely dive deep into MAXQDA website. And there are tons of, visuals, videos, tutorial videos, that you can watch, and manuals and everything that is available. There is also those trainings that you can join, professionally, to get certified as well. So there are millions of opportunities. Thank you, Adam, for this awesome question. Yeah, we have lots of resources. Again, feel free to reach out to me from MAXQDA's website if you have any further questions, or if you want to get some more, resource ideas from me. My pleasure. I will definitely help you out with this. Any other questions? Yeah, maybe you want to have a series of UX research, as there was a lot to capture. Definitely, I would definitely love to have a series of UX research with MAXQDA, to dive deep into each component, each feature of MAXQDA, in greater detail. This one is a kind of fast, quick and dirty snapshot of what MAXQDA can do for you as UX researchers. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful rest of the day, and stay curious and stay, motivated to use MAXQDA and do more great UX research. And remember, as one of the most important principles of UX research, less is more. Bye-bye.